after episode 1 and all the perspectives we've heard from grade 10 students, let's add more and more creativity and opinions to our debate. Welcome to our Of Mice and Men alternate ending panel. Welcome, Layan.
Thank you.
What's your thoughts about Steinbeck's ending? Was it cruel or kind?
So I think the original ending is tragic, but very controlled and meaningful. It focuses on mercy, friendship, and the quiet death of a shared dream, showing how vulnerable hope is in a harsh word. But it made me wonder how the message would change if the tragedy happened in a different way. So instead of making the story happier, I wrote an alternative ending where I shift who pays the price to explore fate and loss from another perspective. So here the alternative ending I imagined.
And Lenny sit by the river. The gun is ready. The dream is being spoken for the last time. Then, stop, please. They turn. Curly's wife is standing there, alive, bruised, shaking, breathing. For a moment, the word stops. She explained what happened, the panic, the misunderstanding, the fall that never became death. George slowly lowers the gun. Lenny stares, confused but relieved. Then Curly arrives. He looks at his wife, alive. He looks at Lenny, and something inside him doesn't change. Truth doesn't matter. Innocence doesn't matter. Only pride does. Curly raises his gun anyway. He points it at Lenny's face. Time freezes. And then George moves. He throws himself in front of Lenny. The gun fires. George falls, but this time he fell dead. No one speaks. Curly's wife screams, not because she was almost dead, no, but because she's now the reason someone else is. Lenny doesn't understand. He kneels beside George, repeating the dream, the same dream George will never finish telling again. Curly stands there, gun still in his hand, having killed the wrong man for no reason at all. George lies on the ground, motionless. His body is still. His voice, the one that carried that dream, is gone. Lenny is alive, but only in the way a body breathes. He sits beside George, waiting for him to speak, waiting for the dream to continue, but it never does. And in that moment, something inside Lenny collapses. No gun touches him, no rope, no prison. Yet he's destroyed. Without George, there is no meaning, no safety, no future, only noise. George's death ends a life, but Lenny's survival ends a soul.
Let's now hear about Lauren's opinion about Steinbeck's and Layan's ending.
Okay, so both endings had that sad, cruel wrap-up where a death was introduced, whether it was Lenny's in the OG ending or George's in Layan's ending. I mean, it's true that cruel endings tend to leave a mark and effect on us, but here's the thing, how about an ending that will twist your mind and curiosity and readjust your views on the entire story? I'm Lauren, and this is my alternative ending of John Steinbeck's story of Mice and Men. Now, my version takes more of a psychological approach on George's journey and the burden that he carries. The scene begins similarly to the OG ending, by the brush at Selena's river. George raises the gun, aiming it at the back of Lenny's head with a shaky, hesitant hand, and he pulls the trigger. In the original ending, Lenny lays to his death, leaving George guilty and devastated. But in this version, there's a catch. As soon as George fires the gun, he wakes up, looking around him, grasping for air frantically and calling out for Lenny, but to his surprise, there is no Lenny, nor is he even at the Selena's river. George is in fact back at his old job in Mead, California. Looking at his hands, they are clean, no blood, no gun. He realizes that the entire journey, the ranch, Curly's wife, her death, and even Lenny himself was all just a vivid, horrifying nightmare. And as you may have noticed in this ending, Lenny was never a real person. He was in fact an illusion created by George's subconscious, a physical manifestation of George's responsibilities and maybe the fear of failure, which explains perfectly why Lenny behaved like a child throughout the story. George was left flooded with mixed emotions, the confusion of the dream, but a huge sense of relief that his hands are clean of another's blood and his heart free from the guilt of a crime he never actually committed.
Why did you pick this ending?
I chose this ending because it shifts the spotlight at the idea of mental isolation. George often mentioned how life would be so much better without Lenny in it. And here in this version, George's mind created a scenario to show him perfectly and exactly how it would feel like and the cost of that freedom he once talked about.
What's the moral of the ending you've picked?
So the moral from my version suggests that our greatest burdens are often the ones we carry inside our heads.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, I do. Thank you for listening to my version regarding the ending of John Steinbeck's story of Mice and Men, and I really hope it gave you that psychological twist that I was aiming for.
Our dear audience, in your opinion, which ending suits the story the most?